Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm proposing that we abolish all of our national holidays and instead just give people the choice of when they want to take off. So, why would I propose such a thing? Well, let's talk about how I first realized the nonsense of any sort of public holiday. I was in sixth grade and I was really excited, looking forward to some kind of holiday. I think it was a Labor Day or Memorial Day. It was one of those long weekend kind of holidays. Well, the holiday came, and I quickly realized that most of the benefits of having a holiday were negated by the fact that everybody else took that day off. So your favorite restaurant was not going to be open. If you were traveling, airfare was going to be more expensive. And so, just generally, the idea that everybody else took off negated a lot of the benefits of that holiday. Do you know what my favorite holiday was when I was in grade school? Anytime our school had some kind of teacher meeting day and the students had a day off, but my parents were still going to work. Oh my God, I could really enjoy the fuck out of those days. Nothing else was affected except for the school district. And it got me thinking, why do we have public holidays? Why can't people take off when it makes sense for them? Now, what days would I take off if we had stuff like that? Well, I love stargazing. Every time there's a solar or a lunar eclipse, I might celebrate various anniversaries in my life. And I may consider taking some of the holidays off, or not all of them. There are certain holidays that don't really mean that much to me, right? And more importantly, people would be able to choose what day they want to take off, and there would be a lot more flexibility, and it would be more. I think the economy would run a whole lot better. You wouldn't have people wasting resources just because it's a certain holiday, and also the environment could swallow all that travel a lot better if it's spread out over the year as opposed to at one go. Right? You'd have a lot less air rage as well at the airports because people's holidays would not line up with each other anymore. Right? And generally, things would just run a whole lot better. You wouldn't run into if you Google what's the worst day to end up in the hospital in because of holidays and shift changes and all that, you'd have a lot less of that, right? And I have an idea. Why don't we all protest by going on strike this Thanksgiving? But it's a reverse strike, right? Instead of striking out of work, now you're striking into work, right? I wonder what would happen if we all went on a reverse strike on a Thanksgiving day to protest the idea that we shouldn't have holidays. So what would my dream holiday schedule look like? Well, think of it this way: how many public holidays does your office take off? And then add in however many vacation days you have. But I take it a step further. I get rid of the weekends too. Add all that together and figure out how many days a year you go to work. Okay, whatever that number is. Why don't we just open our offices 365 days a year and just have enough vacation days so you can still work the same number of days, but you get to choose what day. Now, why would I propose that? Think of it this way. How many times has it been on a Friday afternoon where you felt like you still had momentum? You could have still had good output for another day or two, right? Or how many times has it been on Monday you just weren't ready? You weren't ready for that Nobel Prize winning idea. Well, if we got rid of the weekends and the holidays and we just allow people to take whatever day off they want, now you could actually go to work when it most makes sense to. Even if it's 3 a.m. on a Saturday. If that's when you come up with your Nobel Prize winning ideas, go at it, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.